Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. And this is a sequel to Afterlife, which was a legacy sequel that brought new life into the Ghostbusters franchise, with Jason Reitman kind of taking the reins, and now giving the reins over to Gil Kenan, who directed this film and co-wrote it. And now we're back in New York City. We have a new team of Ghostbusters made up of Gary, played by Paul Rudd, and then the Spenglers, played by Carrie Coon, Finn Wolfhard, and McKenna Grace, coming back, all of them from the previous film. Now, they're the ones doing all the work, and you have some of our characters, Winston, Ernie Hudson's characters, kind of the philanthropist who's paying for all of it, and you have Ray, Dan Aykroyd's character, still involved in more of like a consulting kind of way, but he's retired. And of course you have Venkman, because Bill Murray had to show up a little bit. You still have Janine, Annie Potts' character, and somehow William Atherton's character is now mayor. And this film starts off with a fun, high-speed chase in the Ecto, driving around the city trying to capture a ghost, and of course they do damage, and the mayor's not happy about it. And then this whole story revolves around Kumail Nanjiani's character, Nadim, who winds up selling this relic to Ray, and which holds this god who utilizes the death chill to freeze all of existence and kill everybody through fear and wanting to destroy the earth. And this film is a fun time. It's funny. I do think that a lot of the actors bring a lot to the table in terms of, like, basically Venkman's only there because Bill Murray, every time he says something, it's hilarious. And you know, it's a fun time, and at the core of it, they do some nice things with a few of the characters. I really like what Phoebe, McKenna Grace's character, is dealing with. Like, she's the most intelligent of all these characters, and she's 15, but she's being sidelined. She develops this new relationship with this Melody, who she connects with. But there are some interesting kinds of directions they go with this, in terms of trying to show Phoebe being a bit lonely and disconnected from everyone. You have Gary going on this journey of, like, trying to take on the reins of being this stepfather kind of role. And, you know, Carrie Coon's character doesn't have a whole lot to do, and specifically Finn Wolfhard just really not utilized very well in this film. He's just kind of there and has this weird subplot trying to, like, deal with Slimer. And you have Lucky and Podcast coming back from the first film, and they're just kind of there. There's also a lot of new characters that are just kind of there. What I feel like this film struggles with, it has too many characters. I feel like the only real legacy character that really gets something interesting to do is Ray, dealing with the fact that, like, he loves this. He lives this. But is he too old to continue to do it? You do get Kumail's Nadim, even Patton Oswalt pops up as this doctor who works at the library, and they're some fun characters. What I feel like this film struggles with is trying to do too many things, too many subplots, and on top of that, there's so much setup. Like, maybe the last 25 minutes of this film is really the death chill, and you're just like, I feel like I've been watching this movie a while. This isn't even a 2-hour movie. Something's going to have to wrap up soon, and I feel like the third act definitely felt truncated in terms of what they were trying to get across here. I do appreciate the world building. They're expanding upon the Ghostbusters. It's becoming a bigger organization, and that was always the dream of Dan Aykroyd in the first place, was having this world where Ghostbusters were all around, and I appreciate the world building and some of the character work, especially between Phoebe and Ray, by far get the best character work. It's a fun and enjoyable film, but it's very flawed in its writing. There's a lot of conveniences. There's a lot of exposition dumps. There's a lot of elements that just feel clunky. And from a filmmaking standpoint, this feels very bland and point and shoot in terms of like how this is put together. And I don't think Keenan really brought a whole lot in particular to this film. They do throw in the music and the motifs, and Dario Marinelli does a fine job of bringing that old school Ghostbusters music back. And the film has parts of it that feels like good classic Ghostbusters, but there's also elements where you just feel like this feels like a modern rehash of things. If this film was a little bit more focused, maybe got to the point a little bit quicker, maybe it would have had some more impact. I do still feel like this is a fun and enjoyable film on a basic level, but it's not a great film. It's not even a good film. It's fine. It's able to do certain things that work, that engages you. I did feel for the main family, but like by the time you get to the third act, there's just so many characters that are just there, and really feel like they're just there. They're not really doing much. But it's funny. It's fun. It has some threads that have some potential and deliver upon it. And in the end, I thought this was a solid sequel to a solid, above average legacy sequel, just not really hitting the heights of the original film. But those are my thoughts on Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.